There's so many pop-ups that come up, I have to determine what to do next. But what I want to say is I bet all of you sound so beautiful when you're singing, because I sound just as good or not better than Sunny Day when I'm all by myself over here. I love that song. It just puts you in the mood for everything that Vita Spiritual Living is all about. That we are growing in the spirit, that we are boldly going where no woman or man has ever gone before. And that is in our future yet to be. That we are in living the everyday wonder of creativity. So to go boldly, we have to have faith in a few things in life. And the few things that I can count on, I know that day becomes night. I know that it starts with a morning, has a midday, has an evening, and has a nighttime. I can count on those things. For all of the days I've been alive, I know this is what happens in life. So the basics are taken care of. I can boldly go and do whatever I want in every day of my life. And another way of looking at it is to know that there are natural laws in the universe, that if we plant a seed in the soil that is rich for the environment, and we know that the sun, the water, the soil will be the nutrients and everything it needs for that seed to grow, we can boldly plant whatever we want in that garden and know that it will bring forth that which we planted. We can also trust that with knowing that to make a baby, it takes 9 months. That's a long time to anticipate the coming of something. But the beauty and the smell and the love that you feel from that 9-month-old baby is well worth the wait. Would you agree? So consider this. If those laws are true for those things, then why wouldn't they consistently be present for the rest of our life? That we can plant seeds of growth for our own life. That our bodies have proven to us that we're not the same as we were when we were 10, or when we were 20, or when we were 30. We're not the same emotionally, mentally, or physically. So the seeds of the future will still be planted because life will be here anyway. Let's plant something with the intention of growth. Spirit always creates, always. God, love, always says yes. So the authenticity is your soul's journey to live an authentic life. What does that mean, to live an authentic life? It means to be more true to yourself than you are to anybody else or anything else. That you prioritize your authentic life and prioritize God in your life, because when you put God first, you put yourself first. And when you're authentically living, that is the ability to author your life. So be so bold as to know that God first, people, person, places, and things second. That way you come fully charged, fully in love, fully generous, living from the overflow of everything that God has made you to be. Be the author of your life. However you live your life, it is a gift of God. Nobody and no thing has a right to tell you you should do this or that or could do this or that. It is up to you to live your authentic life. You can always try to achieve greatness in life, or you can simply live from the greatness that you are, that God is expressing in and through us, that we are not here without the breath of God, the power and presence of God, that the Spirit of God, the soul's inspiration, is all coming from within. You can try to overcome something, or you can stand in the courage and be that there's nothing missing in your life. You can be so bold as to say that. There's nothing missing in my life. Everything that's been given to me, everything that I've experienced has been for a greater purpose I may or may not ever get to know, but I have the faith in God to live boldly, in love, for love. You get to be you 100%. How awesome is that? Be the author of a bold adventure. And I want to share with you that my experience up until a few years ago was that it relates to a story I know of a doctor that went on vacation. And you know how when you go on vacation, it usually takes a couple of days before you actually relax and realize you're in vacation? So a doctor was on vacation, takes a nice blanket out to the canopy. He's going to lay out by the side of the river and he's going to relax. No sooner than he lays down, he hears, "Help, help." He has to get up, jump, because he's a first responder, and go in the river, pull the person out of the river and save them. He relaxes. That person's saved. Next thing you know, he's yelling or hearing someone yell, "Help, help, help, help." It's two people now. And now he's running out to save someone else. He gets them safe and okay, and then he hears, "Help, help, help." There's three people. And sometimes, like this doctor, I used to be so busy responding to the yells of help that I did not design a life. I did not go within myself to see who or what was upriver throwing these people in. In being bold, being still in the meditation, and understanding and knowing your value, your worth, who you are, in that moment you get to create a calm sea and create a life that you get to be in the midst of peace, love, joy, instead of reacting to every cry for help. Because within us is the same thing that's within each and every one of us. There's the power of God to manage our own desires and our own circumstances. Our charge is to be so bold, to be courageous enough, to be the example that it's possible, that no matter what life throws at us, we have the ability to respond in love, as love, for love. To be so bold to know that life is worth living, even at the later part of life, when we're getting older, when it seems like there's more behind us than before us. Even at that moment, to live our life with so much joy, anticipation, that we know we came from somewhere going someplace, and in the interim, this experience was for our own enjoyment, our own expression, our own development. And no one knows that more or for you better than you do for yourself. Real creativity is an act of expression. So to be in the creative flow, that God is the creator, the creation, everything in between, but is never absorbed by that which it creates. We are a divine individual expression. What God is, we are. So we can create, but we're never absorbed by that creation. With every breath, we can choose again. So it's not about a product. We're not trying to get, and we're not trying to perform. Our life is a clean slate, and our dreams and desires are the medium. And this is a paraphrase of Ernest Holmes, but we're in the laboratory of the divine, what then shall we create? Authenticity is a difference between performance and expression. Performance, sometimes I get caught up in my head and I want to perform for you. I want you to be engaged in the talk. And when I catch myself doing that, I have to stop and take a breath and say, I showed up, now speak through me, Holy Spirit. Because I want the authenticity of the discovery of who I am to be witnessed by you and expressed by me. The performance is for others, the expression is for the self. And can you do for yourself as much or more than you do for others? Can you prioritize yourself? Place God at the beginning and not at the end. Can you purge yourself of yesterday? Breathe in today and have faith that tomorrow is coming. Your anticipation for what your life is packs the bags of delivery. Be bold and ask for peace, joy, kindness, and love. And with that, you're now prepared a place to receive anything. And it will not be too much for you because you've got a foundation of peace, joy, kindness, and love. Creativity is who we are. Creation creates. This is true. At every point and place, life is pushing forward. That is our own personal drive within us to push forward and live our creative selves. So it's not about worrying about mistakes. The mistakes are learning opportunities. We reflect, we review, we rest, we renew. You'll not be consumed by anything unless you stop and say, this is it, this is my all, this is my end. This is how the story ends. At any time, you can take a breath. That's what I call my reset button. I take a breath, I renew, I refresh, I recharge, and I re-express the love that I know to be God. I've recognized that if you're satisfied where you are, then let your face and your friends know it. Be joy-filled. Be the example that you can show other people that right where you are, right what you're doing is right what's supposed to be, and it's God-given joy to be here. And if it's true for you, it can be true for anyone. And then we get to be the examples in the world of the possibility of just expressing joy. Not just, but be bold enough to express joy. Be bold enough to turn off the news and go out and talk to people. It's so frightening sometimes. Be like Jan and travel across the United States to go say, hi, this is who I am. I want to know you. Be out there. Be the one sharing the love. And if you're discovering, learning, reinventing, or trying to reimagine your goals, lean into your faith. Notice who and what you are right here, right now. Whatever is in your awareness or desire is in you, trying to seek a way out of an into expression. It not only creates in and through you, every step you take creates anew, because every step has its own vista, has its own emotion, and its own outcome. Every step of your journey is necessary. Emotions are motions. It's the momentum. Our words have clues with them. And if you're not sure, be still. Be still. Learn to be in the stillness. Learn to be in the mystery. Learn to ask, seek, look within. The answers are within us. Every answer you ask comes with or every question you ask comes with an answer. There is always going to be an answer to a question. And in the stillness, if it says, if you ask yourself one of the questions Gary asked, like, what do I love doing? If you ask yourself that, and the answer says, I love playing with my dog in a park, then I ask you, please go to the park. If you don't have a dog, go and walk a friend's dog or go do something that puts you in that space that you love. And then doing that, all of a sudden you have a feeling, you know, I've always wanted to own my own dog training company and have dog parties at the park. Then that step, you take a step and you create that. And then while you're doing that dog training center at the dog park, another idea comes. Another person steps into your life, and it keeps augmenting, because as you drop that thought in the emotion or in the field of possibilities of God, it ripples. So when you meet the container, it expands and it expands. So you're always at the place of discovery. Stay green, you grow. Ripen, you're rotten. And I want us all to stay green. Every time I think I know something, I get a little fact and I go, oh, that's what they meant by that. Oh my. And I get to learn more, right? So the thought arises, and take an action. Because that way you train your nervous system to do that which you say you want in your life. If you have a dream and you just dream and you just ruminate and you just think and you got desires, pretty soon your nervous system goes, oh, leave her alone. She's just dreaming. She never wanted to take an action. So be happy. Stay where you're planted and grow and take action. Life is never stagnant. Life is for living, and it always expands. I've reinvented myself so many times in my life. I've changed my style. I've changed my hair. I've changed where I live. I changed my jobs. Things fluctuate, including my weight, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Things are always different. We're always going to be different. And unless you identify and you pick that one picture from your past and say, this is when I was my best, then you've stuck yourself in that thought. Now you have to pull out the weeds to let it grow further, because the best is yet to be. I know this is a touchy subject, but there was a lady that did her memorial, and she told the pastor, I want to make sure that when people view me, that I've got my dessert spoon in my hand. And the pastor says, well, that's odd. Why do you want the dessert spoon in your hand? And she goes, because every dinner that I've gone to, I've always enjoyed the dessert. It was the last part of the meal. So I know the best is yet to come. So just know that if you're struggling and if life seems difficult for you, look for someone to talk to. There's practitioners, there's friends, there's your mom, there's your sisters, there's your minister, there's counseling. Find someone that will have your best interest at heart and breathe into you the possibility of growth. Know that the fruit that you are to bear is not things. It's not about acquiring things. It's not about arriving at the top of the money chain. It's about how much can you love? How much can you trust love? How much can you be with someone when they're in pain? It is the fruits of your being, the character of who you are essentially, that is going to make this world a better place. Consumerism is great. I love things. I love money. I love all of that. I'm not poo-pooing on that. But what I'm asking you to do is to bear the fruit of your heart and to reveal to life that you trust it, you trust yourself, and not only that, you're having fun. So a lot of the things that I want to say that I already noticed that I'm running out of time to say is to explore the journey. And in Science of Mind, we tend to intellectualize experiences because we love learning. We're critical thinkers, we're seekers. All of that is good. And in the notes, it said that they provide us every week. At first, changed thought may express as parking places, better health, relationship, harmony, and being at the right place at the right time. As we grow, we embrace greater possibilities and intend even greater demonstrations. And to that, I say blah, 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 blah. Because right now, I just want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love being me. I love being me. And right here, I'm going to be so bold as to show up happy that I am going to share that happiness with you. And that as I love being me, I know I'm attracting to me all that God has to offer me in this moment. That it's not about things. It's about people, how you feel about yourself, how you feel in this moment. Don't overthink it. In fact, T. Harv Eker used to do conferences. He still may, I don't know. But he used to sell t-shirts that say, don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think. Feel the love of God and give from that overflow. Now, I know that when you look within, when you look in a me, you might find what looks like an enemy. There's a part of you that's never going to be 100% satisfied, and that's your potential and edge of growth. Don't do what Western medicine does. You can't cut out a problem. You heal it from the inside. And as you pour the love in and purge everything that doesn't feel like that love, you bless it. For every experience comes with it a lesson and a call to grow and be authentic. So there used to be this thing that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When the inner vision changes, the outer expression shifts to match that. So it's been a blessing to be here, to be on earth, to experience being who I am and discover a deeper sense of faith in me. There's a little story in the Chicken Soup for the Soul, which I'm revisiting. And there was a story in there about courage. And this little boy, this little girl had a disease, and the cure was to have a blood transfusion from somebody else that had the disease. And her brother, little brother, that was very young, had it and somehow miraculously cured himself of it. So he had the antibodies for this. And they asked him to do a blood transfusion for his sister. And he agreed. And while he was doing the blood transfusion, he asked the doctor, will it hurt? How long will it take? And the doctor said, what hurt? How long does what take? He goes, am I going to die because I'm giving my blood to my sister? He was having the courage, being bold enough to be there for somebody, not having all the answers. If a little kid can find that kind of courage to be there for his sister, for somebody he loves, surely we can do that for ourselves and others. There is always going to be vulnerability and victory. There's always going to be loss and gain. There's always going to be love and pain. There's always going to be that. What I'm asking you to do is journal about your dreams. Know that if you're here, you've already overcome whatever it is. If you want something in the future, If you want it, you've already acquired everything you need to have it. Use your imagination to create a understanding of who you are, that you're filled from the overflow and bold enough to live it. In the word imagination, there's 3 words that jumped out at me. Image, what is the image you hold of yourself and others? Magi, you're the magician within, you hold the magic. Nation, what do you create around you? Use your imagination to create an image. Be the magi that demonstrates the magic to live in a nation that you create and love. And with that, I ask you to take a deep breath in and know with me as we do a brief prayer that God is all there is, that God is the breath we breathe, that God is the love we seek to share and receive, for we have to hold it. Whoops, sorry, being a mom. That we're invited to hold it as if we already have it in order to experience it. That God is the love that we are, that there is no separation in God. Right where we are, God is breathing us, living us, having its desires fulfilled as us. That the struggles are there to create the muscle to have the experience of it. Bless it. Be strong. Know that right here I claim, I say, I know that each one of us has within us all that we need to live a life fulfilling. That we slide into home plate and God receives us with a smile on our face and we ask, did you see that? Did you see what we did together individually, collectively? We had faith in you, God. I have faith. And with the power and presence, I simply say, thank you, God. I of myself do nothing. It is Spirit within us that does the work. I am grateful, filled to overflow. I let it be, and so it is. Amen. Yay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I like that collective.